Hello class 10th. In this lecture, in the last lecture we have completed some effects on the refraction. Today we will discuss about the total internal reflection, critical angle and some more topics. So first of all, see this diagram. In this diagram I am taking one glass slab. You can take any denser medium and put any object just under the glass slab. As I said, the light, after falling on that object, the light will be re-reflected in all directions. So in all directions I am taking first single one which is going straight up without any refraction because it is falling normally, so no refraction. Increase little bit at different angle, means a different ray. So what will happen? At different angle the ray will be refracted away from the normal. Why? The ray is in denser medium. Now it is coming to rarer medium, it will bend away from the normal. They just increase the angle of incidence now. Increasing means a third ray at little bit more angle of incidence. We know that by the refractive index is equal to sin I by sin r, means if we are increasing the angle of incidence, so angle of reflection also increase. So here you can see I am increasing the angle of incidence. So what will happen? Angle of refraction will also increase. So here what is going on? The angle of incidence is increased, so angle of refraction will be 90. The ray will go inside the surface. This situation is called grazing. The light is grazing through the surface. And the angle at which this phenomena has happened, which phenomena? At this angle the light is grazes to the surface. This phenomena is this angle, this particular angle at which this is happening, this angle is called critical angle. So what is the definition of the critical angle? The angle in denser medium. What is critical angle? It is the angle in the denser medium for which the angle of refraction in rarer medium becomes 90. So this angle is called critical angle. Now this is okay. Now again suppose I am increasing the angle of incidence little more. What will happen? At this time the light will return to the same medium. The light will reflect, not refract. But this reflection is without any shiny surface. So what you will say? You will say that this is total internal reflection. Remember this point. You will say this is total internal reflection. First, straight without any reflection. Second, at some angle, so refraction is going on there. Third, little more angle of incidence, so there is forming critical angle and the light is grazing. And the fourth one is little bit at more angle of incidence. At this time the light reflects to the same medium. This phenomenon is called total internal reflection. Now in the book, if you see that written there are two conditions for the total internal reflections. So what are the two conditions? Condition 1. For this phenomenon to be happen, the light must go from denser medium to rarer medium. You have seen, I think, the light was going from denser medium to rarer medium, but actually it is reflected again in the same medium. But what you will say, the light must go from the denser medium to rarer medium. First condition. And second condition, the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. That is why you have seen this phenomena. After increasing further more angle of incidence, the light reflect to the same medium. So what you must say, the first condition, the light must go from denser to rarer, and second, the angle of incidence must be greater than critical angle. Then this phenomenon will happen. So what we have seen, for first, when the angle of incidence after refraction, when the angle of incidence was increasing, we must say this is the particular angle at which the light grazes to the surface. So that is called critical angle. On further increasing, the light reflects to the same medium, that is called total internal reflection. The two conditions for the total internal reflections are: 1. The light must go from denser to rarer. Second, the angle of incidence must be greater than critical angle. So there must be relation between the refractive index and the critical angle. So let's calculate the critical angle in the sheets. So see here, we are going to obtain a relation between the refractive index and the critical angle. For that, I'm going to draw a diagram. For that, suppose this is the denser medium and this one is the rarer medium. The light is going from denser to rarer. So here, this is forming the angle of incidence. We can give the symbol I, but I'm taking the case when the light grazes through the surface like this. At this time, the angle of refraction becomes 90, angle R is equal to 90, and angle I is becoming equal to the critical angle. This case is called critical angle case. What we have to obtain? We have to obtain a relation between this critical angle and the refractive index. Okay, so according to the rule, let the refractive index of this medium be mu. According to rule, the light is going from this, suppose denser medium is glass, to air. So glass to air, this is light going on, is equal to sine I upon sine R. This is the rule. According to the rule, sine I is what? Angle of incidence. What is that? Critical angle. So I'm writing here sine C. And what is sine R? 90. Sine 90. And this is what? G mu A. And I said, if you remember, that every refractive index will be with respect to air. And here it was refractive index of air with respect to glass. This is not correct. So just reciprocate it by the principle of reversibility. What we can write? A mu G is equal to sine 90 upon sine C. Or sine 90 value 1 upon sine C. So if we are not considering that this is the glass, suppose any medium it is, so I'm writing in general, not glass, in general, refractive index is equal to 1 upon sine C. Okay, this is the relation between the refractive index of the medium and the critical angle. Now suppose let's calculate the critical angle for glass. So what is the refractive index of glass? I'm writing here for glass. The refractive index is equal to 1.5. So 1.5 is equal to 1 upon sine C, or sine C is equal to 1 upon 1.5, or 2 by 3, or 0.666, and so on. If you will use the sine trigonometric table, you will come to know the value of, I'm writing as sine C is equal to, sine C is equal to 41.8 and something. That is nearly about 42 degree. So we can consider the critical angle of glass is 42 degree. Now another, suppose this medium is water, then at that time sine C is equal to 1 upon refractive index, and water has refractive index of 4 by 3, or it comes 3 by 4, or 0.75. Using the trigonometric table, you will come to know that critical angle for water comes 48 degree. This is for water, and this is for, where it is, this is for glass. Same way, if you will calculate the critical angle for diamond, so this will come 24 degree. And we can calculate refractive index, critical angle for any medium if we are knowing the value of refractive index. So after this, based on the examination purpose, the total interreflection phenomena, the definition of critical angle, the two conditions for total interreflection, these are very important. And relation of the refractive index and the critical angle we have seen. And the next is why the upper surface of water contained in a beaker, when viewed from the bottom side, means if the water layer must be above your head, that surface appears silvery. Why it is happening? Same thing. Let's see in the diagram. This image shows that the object is on this side. Object reflects all the light. First it goes on the beaker, little bit refracted, then to the upper surface, the surface shows that it has been reflected all the rays. Why? Because some rays will have been refracted, some will have gone through the by grazing, and some by the total internal reflection. We know that the water is not a shiny surface, but why the rays are reflecting? Because of the total internal reflection. The rays are going at the angle which is more than critical angle. So from that side, if you observe, so what you will see? You will see that the object is where? Object is somewhere above side. The apparent position of the image will be just above the surface of water. And where is the actually object? On this side. So if the object is here, you are able to see there the image. So this is what? The reflection due to that. And which type of reflection? This is not a simple reflection. This is total internal reflection. So the next topic is also based on that when you put test tube obliquely inside water, the surface of the tube is also appears silvery. See the diagram here also. Here in the diagram, when you will see the tube is inside the water, but tube contains inside what? Air. So water, air. Water is denser, air is rarer. When the light comes from water towards test tube, due to the light is going from denser to rarer, if the angle of incidence is more than critical angle, reflects toward the reflects in this side. So when you will observe from this side or from that side, you will see that the surface of the tube is reflecting with that because of the total internal reflection. Next point is the brilliancy of the diamond. The brilliancy of the diamond, or you can say the sparkling of the diamond. In the exam, it can be asked with the 2 words, that brilliancy of diamond or sparkling of the diamond. Why it is happening? See the diagram. The critical angle for the diamond is 24 degree. This is very small angle. When the light enters the diamond, the total internal reflection phenomena goes on. And due to that very small critical angle, 24 degree, the light again and again totally internally reflects in the diamond. After suffering many reflections, it comes out. So when your eye will receive that ray which is coming outside, you will see due to that multiple reflection, you will see that surfaces of the diamond are all shiny. So due to this shining, you will see that the diamond is brilliance or the sparkling. Why? Again I was speaking, the light enters in the diamond, and due to the small critical angle, 24 degree, the light suffers multiple total internal reflection, means at most of the surfaces, the light totally internally reflects. And what is happening in the last? When after reflecting from many surfaces, when the light comes out, you will receive that multiple reflections are going on there. The surfaces are shining. The diamond is sparkling. So this is because of the total internal reflection. The next point is totally reflecting prism. In this prism, we can deviate the light. At 90 degree, at 180 degree, or we can erect the image. What is totally reflecting prism? Any prism which is isosceles, means 2 angles must be equal, and third angle must be right angle, means we can say that one angle 90 degree, other 2 angles at 45 degree. So you can say the isosceles right angle triangle, but here it is what? Prism. So what you will say? The isosceles right angle prism is totally reflecting prism. So let's see the deviation through this prism, the 90 degree deviation, 180 degree deviation, and the erecting of the object. Let's see. So here we are starting the totally reflecting prism, and first one is the deviation through 90 degree. First I'm going to show you what is the totally reflecting prism look like. So this is the diagram of the totally reflecting prism. This one is the 90 degree and the other two are 45 degree, the angles. So deviation through 90 degree means the light is going to deviate by 90 degree. So I am taking the incident ray through this surface and it will bend 90 degree. How? So starting with the first ray, So here you can see the first ray is going through on the surface AB. Since this ray is falling normally, so no refraction, because if the ray is falling normally, so the ray will go straight. Here it is, the ray is falling normally and approaches to this surface AC. Now after this, in which direction this ray will go, this will decide the angle of incidence. So remember this, we have to draw after this point, we have to draw the normal. Let's draw the normal. Here this is the normal. Now the step is, we have to calculate this angle. According to this angle, we will decide that in which direction this ray will go further. So you can see here, this is the 90 because the ray is already coming normally. This is 45, this is 90, so this angle will be 45. This is normal itself, means total angle 90, so this angle becomes 45. So what is the critical angle of the glass? For the critical angle of the glass is 42 degree. If you remember, the critical angle of the glass is 42 degree, and here the angle of incidence is 45 degree. Here we can say the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. If you remember, if the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, so which phenomena will happen? The total internal reflection, and that says angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, means the light will deviate in this direction. Let's draw. So you can see here, the light was falling normally on this surface, the angle of incidence was 45. So this angle is greater than critical angle because critical angle of a glass is 42. 45 is more than 42, so TIR will happen. If you're not understanding, see here again. If the angle of incidence is less than critical angle, so refraction will happen. If the angle of incidence is equal to critical angle, so light will graze. And if the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, at that time total internal reflection phenomena will happen. So remember these 3 points. If I is less than C, refraction. I is equal to C, light will graze. And if I is greater than C, so TIR, here angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, so light reflected in this direction. So the ray is still again normal. Why? This is 45, this is 45, this is 45, 45, again this is 45. So this is 45, this is 45, so this angle will be 90, means the ray is coming normally. So it will go straight like this. So this is for the first ray. I am using the same path for the another ray. So you can see, suppose here is any object like this. The head is with single arrow and the bottom is with double arrow. So it will look like this. The head with single arrow and the bottom is with double arrow. So this is like the object, and here what is? It is bended. Means how much deviation it is right now? How much? 90 degree. That is why it is called deviation through 90 degree. Now next is deviation through 180 degree. Here again the same prism, but this time the light will come on the surface AC first normally. So what will happen? It will go straight first. So without any deviation, falls normally up to this surface. Now in which direction this will go? This will decide the angle of incidence. So we have to draw normal. Let's draw. So see here, this is 45, this is 90. So this angle is what? 45. The total angle is 90. So remaining angle becomes 45. Again see, 90, 45, remaining 45. This total again 90. So this 45 plus 45, then 90. So this angle becomes 45. Again, this is more than critical angle. Why? Critical angle of the glass is 42. So this is more than 42, 45, 42 means more than critical angle. So total internal reflection will be happen. So 45, again by making 45 it will bend toward this way. Let's see. Here it is. Now again it is touching the another surface. Again in which direction it will go? It will be decided by the angle of incidence. Let's draw. So this is the normal. So this is 45. This was 45, again 45, 45, so remaining 45. This is 45, this is 90, so this one will be remaining 45, and this is the normal again, so this will be remaining 45 degree. Again the same phenomena will be even like here, same will be here also. So by total internal reflection these are happening. Now again this was 45, 45, 45, remaining 45, this is 45, remaining 90. So the light will go straight without any deviation. Here it is. Now let's draw for the another ray. So this is finally, suppose here single arrow is the head of the arrow and this is tail. So what will be the image here? Single head with the head of the arrow. So this is the like object, and here the image is completely rotated. How much rotated? 180 degrees. So this is deviation through 180 degree. So, and in some book it is given like in this shape also. So if it is given in this shape, it doesn't mean it is little different. So it will be looking like that. So this is again the same deviation through 180 degree. The third one, erecting prism or no deviation prism. Let's see. So it will be placed like this. First ray. Now this time this is a different angle, not normally like this, and this is going from rarer to denser, not denser to rarer. So we no need to see any what is the incident angle. Definitely it will bend toward the normal. So if I will draw, this will be normal and it will bend toward this way. So let's draw. So you can see here the light is bending toward this way, and this is looking parallel to this. So let's draw a normal here. If I'll draw a normal, so this will be 45 alternate angles, the corresponding angles. So the remaining angle will be of 45 again. So what will happen? Total internal reflection, it will bend toward this way. Let's draw. So again you can see here, this is 45 again. Total internal reflection says I is equal to R. So if this angle is equal to this, means total 90 degree. So this will bending this direction. So when the light will emerge out of the prism, so due to this angle again, the light will be parallel to this, like shifted in its path. So this will be parallel in this direction. So here it is. Now take another ray. Same way, this ray will bend toward this, parallel to this surface, and then it will go out of this. So you can see here, this is going parallel to this surface. To differentiate, I am using this one is as a double head. So this will go in this direction with double head. And see, this is coming straight to the same line. Means if after reflection, after emerging out, so this ray going to this and this ray is going to be this, means this ray after refraction, after emerging out, become parallel to this, and this ray is going to be parallel to this ray. Let's see. So here it is. Now suppose this is the object, inverted object. So double arrow head is going up, means the head of this arrow will go in this direction, it will be inverting. So inverted image is becoming erect. That is why it is called erecting prism or no deviation. See, there is no deviation, the object is just erected. Here I am ending this session. In the next lecture we will discuss about the refraction through prism. Till then, be safe, take care, and thank you.